Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Welcome to Fort Worthington Elementary Middle School, affectionately known as the Fort. I am Principal Monique DeBay, and we welcome you here today. Here at the Fort, we exude growth and excellence through positivity and collaboration with staff, scholars, parents, and our community to ensure accountability and achievement for all. We are grateful to serve the Berea community under the leadership of Dr. Sonia Santalisas and in alignment with the vision that Mayor Catherine Pugh has for transforming Baltimore City. We are honored to kick off National Computer Science Education Week and the Hour of Code here at the Fort, as we celebrate our daily application of the 4 C's: critical thinking, communication, collaboration, and creativity in computer science courses and our core subjects. Our scholars will transition to high school prepared to create, innovate, and utilize technology that has yet to exist as a result of the learning that takes place here in their 21st century learning site. This wouldn't be possible without you. Your hard work ensures that our Falcons are truly on the rise. And for that, we hope you enjoy your visit. Thank you, and without further ado, I introduce our CEO, Dr. Sonia Santalisas.
I just want to thank Principal DeBay for just her leadership, and this is just an extension of the generosity she has shown in openness to the community since the new Fort Worthington opened. So kudos to both Principal DeBay and the team here at Fort Worthington. Well, good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
We are thrilled. I am thrilled to be here for our Hour of Code Day here in Baltimore City Schools, and there are so many reasons why. First, it really is a testament to the power of a committed and involved parent, and so I want to make sure that I call out Maruna Burke, who I think you will hear from a little later, but Maruna is a parent in city schools. Actually, our children attend the same school. My girls came home from an hour of code at their school, and we're like, Mommy, guess what we did today? We wrote code. And I thought, oh, okay, I guess it was a good day at school. And that one day in a handful of schools, under her careful kind of vision for saying, being mindful enough to say, you know what? If my children, if the children in their school enjoy coding so much, why not make this available for more young people throughout the city? And so I want to make sure that we really emphasize the fact that this grew from a parent's vision, and then that parent connected with her organization, Accenture, and instead of saying, oh yeah, that sounds nice, they didn't do just that. They actually put their weight behind it. So one of the major sponsors for today's event, Accenture, really also shows what happens when you have partners, organizations, businesses within our community who see the potential of our young people, get behind it, and then we now have what started in one school is growing to close to 50 schools today, Maruna? We have close to 50 schools in a year that have latched onto this. And if there is any doubt, and I could give you rationale about the economy, I could give you rationale about the place of technology in our nation and our community, but I think one of the most compelling things about this day was the young people right here who I had a chance to speak with, 6th graders and one 8th grader, who told me, I thought they were here just to learn how to code. They said, oh, no. We're going to be the ones teaching how to code. And they went on to talk about their bot projects and how they're writing code for particular challenges, and they feel like, hey, it's something they can do. And so for me, that's the proof in the pudding, that as we move into real connected learning for young people, and I'm going to quote Principal DeBay on this, when real teaching and learning is happening, our young people are engaged. Our young people are part of a learning climate And Hour of Code is a wonderful example of what that looks like. I also just want to take a brief moment and say really thank you to Stacy Davis on our team, who heads up information technology learning, who really got behind this, because it's one thing for folks to sit in a meeting with the CEO and say they want to do something, but Stacy really got behind this, made sure that it happened, and I want to thank her and the full team within Teaching and Learning, Janice Lane, and others as well. So without further ado, I am going to introduce our mayor, Mayor Catherine Pugh, who has also set technology and making sure that our city, Baltimore City, stands out as a leader in technology, a priority for our city, and it's our privilege to be able to connect our schools to the vision and her vision for our city. Mayor Catherine Pugh.
Thank you. Let's give our CEO another round of applause. Before you leave, I'd like to ask the principal to come up as well so we can present our certificate of recognition for this effort.
We'll run and get it.
Okay, we'll come back to that. Let me just say, this is really important. I just came back from a summit in Detroit, and we were talking about the future of young people and the future of learning. And one of the things we talked about is, when do we begin teaching young people things that they know and things that they are so efficient and available to do, and stop not recognizing the fact that they have capacity and capability. And that's what you're going to see today among these young people. Because what we're talking about now, if you're really thinking of the 21st century and future job opportunities, it is learning how to code, it is understanding technology, and Baltimore is actually going to become the Silicon Valley of the East Coast. Give that a round of applause. We've got 13 companies moving into Baltimore to do cybersecurity. And by next year, it'll be 30 companies. So we should be preparing our young people now for those opportunities, and that's what today is all about. So Cassandra and all of those who've been involved, and Johns Hopkins and everyone who is participating in this effort today, we want you to know how important it is. But it's not just an hour of coding, you all, because these young people can tell you they're doing it every chance they get because they have that capacity, they have that capability. It is now going down into the elementary school and lifting these young people to careers of the 21st century. And that's why we made Baltimore City Community College free, because we don't want any child who has capacity or capability not to be able to further their education. And so when we made Baltimore City Community College free, Coppin State University said if you finish there, you can come to Coppin State University for free. Morgan State University, another $5 million endowment, and Bloomberg gave $1.9 billion to Johns Hopkins University so that our young people who have capability can, in fact, go to some of the top colleges and universities in this country. And if for 1 minute you don't think that we have that capacity, and you can see it right here, I happen to be sitting next to an 8th grader who said to me she was going to become a neuro, and I said, that must be somewhere in science, medical field. And I said to her, let me introduce you to the president of the dean of the University of Maryland Medical School. And she said, Madam CEO, I'm going to Johns Hopkins University. And I said to her, do you realize that if you maintain a 4.0, and I'm talking to all of these young people here, that you can go to Johns Hopkins for free? And her response was, that's easy. So all I'm saying to you all is that our children have capacity, our children have capability, our children want to reach. Our job is to make sure that they reach as far as they want to go. So thank you for this opportunity to share, and now I invite the CEO and the principal back up so that we can present you with this citation. Opening up our schools to the community is also important. That is why we built these schools, so that they can become 21st century places for everyone to come to, because as you will see, we have computers in these classrooms because our children deserve it. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Madam Mayor, and thank you, Dr. Santelises and Principal Dubai, for opening your school to us today. I have a few more thank yous that I have to get through. Miruna and the whole Accenture team, thank you so much for lending us your time. Marty, thank you for lending them to us. Stacy and Sherry from City Schools, thank you for all the effort you put in. I'm not Marty's sitting right here, and I'm going to bring him up in a minute. I'm not sure I want him to know this, but we did crunch the numbers, and we conservatively estimate that it took about $1 million worth of manpower to pull this off. We have more than 350 volunteers going out this week to over 50 schools to serve what we estimate will probably be around 10,000 students in the district. So that's the level of effort it took to pull this off. But there's so much more that could be done and that should be done. So Hour of Code is awesome, but it's 1 hour. But to really make computer science education equitable, to really change the face of technology so that it includes women and people of color, it's going to take a lot more than an hour. And so you all here, you VIPs in the room today, share the vision that we have, which the city and the school system all share, that we all come together, industry, nonprofits, higher ed, the city agencies, the school system, to provide all the resources that it's going to take to nurture all the future talent that we have in this city and that we see in our classrooms every single day. Some of whom are sitting here before us today and are going to lead you into this room over here after Marty's remarks to teach you an hour of code. So thank you so much to everyone who made Hour of Code happen this week, but I'm going to just thank you all in advance for all of the additional hours that it's going to take to truly make Baltimore the city that codes. So it's my pleasure to introduce Marty Rogers, without whom this wouldn't have been possible. So thanks, Marty.
So I'm being told we're going to have a commercial interruption and we're going to have a quick photo. So I think everybody's going to meet here at right in front of the podium here to take a quick photo, and then we'll resume. Okay, thank you very much for that little commercial interruption. It's just, my name is Marty Rogers. I'm with Accenture. It's a great honor and thrilled to be with everybody today. I also just wanted to thank Principal Dubai for having us in this pretty amazing school, this 21st century school, which is beautiful and incredible. I also wanted to thank Dr. Santelises and the mayor. Your vision for the city that codes is a really, really powerful one. And at the end of the day, right, the city that codes is going to be the city that creates jobs. It's going to be the city that creates high wages. It's going to be the city that has civic engagement. It's going to be the city of wealth creation. And ultimately, it's going to be the city that is the city of the future. So it's a really powerful vision. It's not a vision that we see happening across a lot of the other major cities in the country. So thank you for advancing that and advancing it so powerfully. The other thing that I wanted to really stress and underscore is really just the spirit of public-private partnership and coming together to make a difference, that we are all vested, the public sector, the private sector, state, local, federal, with the private sector trying to make a difference here. When we started last year, Accenture has been doing Hour of Code for a number of years on a global basis. This year we're going to have 2,500 Accenture employees working over the course of this next week as part of Hour of Code. We'll reach about 100,000 young people. But when you stop and look at who's driving most of that, it's really folks that are like here in Baltimore and in DC. We're going to work with 40 schools in DC. We're going to have the 50 schools here in Baltimore. And to see where you guys have gone in just 1 year is really pretty incredible. Dr. Santelises was talking a little bit about it, but the opportunity to work side by side with Baltimore City Public Schools, Coden Schools, Johns Hopkins, the Maryland National Guard, who is here and has been just a tremendous partner, and then over 60 other organizations stepping forward is really an incredible level of effort. Last year, I think the key thing that we took away from everything was that the students really loved the experience, but that we loved it just as much, right? And so if we can get that sense of energy and get folks coming together to focus on coding, it'll be a really powerful thing. And so because of that experience, we decided that we had to go really big this year. We started the planning, and that's what we've done. What I really wanted to emphasize for everybody is just when we say, you know, we wanted to go big through this public-private partnership and make it happen, just how big and how incredible the change is from one year to the next. Last year, there were 40 volunteers. This year, there are 350. Last year, we reached 400 students. This year, here in Baltimore City, they're going to reach 10,000. That's pretty awesome. So for the parents and the community leaders and the employees that are going out to those 50 schools to reach those 10,000 kids, thank you very, very much. The last thing in closing that I really wanted just to underscore, and today is going to be a really great day, and whether we're working with Moana or Star Wars or Dance Party or whatever the coding effort, I think it is actually really powerful, this idea that the one thing that we found in common is that talent is universally distributed, but opportunity is not. And when you're talking to these kids, you should know that our future is in really, really good hands, and these kids are really amazing and should be teaching us. I mean, these kids were talking about the need to bake in security at the front of their coding. They were talking about drones. They were talking about the fact that they needed more bandwidth to connect to their drone, right? They're talking about building bots, right? I didn't even know what I just figured out what a bot was last year, so you know, it's pretty incredible. The last thing that I just wanted to leave is kind of a central message, and this is really for all the kids, but it's also for all of us, and it goes to this whole idea about Baltimore being the city that codes. What we have to impress upon all the children is that you make a heck of a lot more money when you are coding the game than when you're playing the game. So your future is in good hands. So your future is in good hands if you learn to code, and you guys say it's easy. We'll keep making it easy and easier because us older folks need it to be easy. And thanks for having us. Take care.